tonight I thought, why not do something really cool? And I personally don't think there is anything cooler that you could do than watch the Alex Jones trial on your weekend. So why don't we do that? Starting this today, I was actually going to do something else. I was going to go through a bunch of... I was going to rank all my favorite Love Islanders from this year. Because that's been what I've been focusing on for the last month and a half. I have to be honest with you, I know very, very little about Alex Jones. Hey, let's go look up the story so we can get some context around what's actually been going on today. Alex Jones ordered to pay $45.2 million punitive damages to Sandy Hook family. Shit, that's a lot of money. Honestly, I don't even know that much about Alex Jones. I'm not bothered either way about the guy. I mean, I'm sure the more I look into it, it'll be like, oh, yeah, there's clearly some issues there. To me, he's always just been a bit of a meme. There's been nothing more, nothing less than just a fun meme. But I guess it goes to show just how far things can go when you just don't really care about what you're doing or saying. So yeah, Alex Jones ordered to pay $45.2 million in punitive damages to Sandy Hook family. Combined amount of $49.3 million is still below the $150 million Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis sought after his Sandy Hook shooting lies. So they wanted $150 million and they got $49.3 million. After already ordering him to pay $41 million to the parents of a child killed in the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting, the jury hearing the defamation case against the far-right conspiracy theorist Alex Jones over his falsehoods about the massacre told him to surrender another $45.2 million to the grieving family who sued him. What is their take? Seeing as this is his website, what's their take on this? I'm so curious. Alex Jones has been ordered to pay over $49 million in damages to the parents of one Sandy Hook victim for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress for calling this shooting a hoax nearly 1 decade ago. Just to clarify, just to go back and have a little look, I believe he has said that, like, no, it is real in this trial.
I have said before that there have been so many lies and so many things in the past, and I was under a lot of pressure. And I truly, when I said those statements, when I say something, I mean it, that I really could believe that it was totally staged at that point.
This is the thing I always wonder about these kinds of people, and anyone really that is very active in the media and pushing their ideological views on lots of people, is sometimes even with the shit that they say that is so wild, I do think that in the moments of what they say, then they do genuinely believe them. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I find it hard to believe that there would be there'll be people out there who are lying and knowing they're lying. Maybe they do deep down, but I feel like a lot of the time, I think people believe in their own bullshit. And in this case, obviously, it's turned out that it is bullshit.
Do you understand now that it was absolutely irresponsible of you to do that?
It was, especially since I met the parents, and it's 100% real, as I said on the radio yesterday, and as I said here yesterday, it's 100% real, and the media still ran with...
How do you... Sorry, just not to make light of the situation, because it is such a serious situation, but I just can't with Alex Jones. This is my problem, is I think I have this thing where I am attracted to problematic men. Not in a sexual way, I just want to enjoy them completely. But I can also see how many problems they cause, especially, in a situation like this, which is just so up. Yeah, I don't know. That's my problem. But, Alex Jones, how good is that? You'll catch me later on InfoWars. There's definitely better Alex Jones impressions out there. But how do you genuinely speak like that all the time?
Yeah, well, I understand that what I did was, the shooting was 100% real. Even though I said at the time that I didn't believe it, I have to pay $45 million, which is also maybe a scam.
Just while we're here, the real only thing, and this is what I mean when I don't know enough about Alex Jones, because I think it's easy to just have like things happen in the media and they tell you this is who Alex Jones is, or this is what this person is, or that person is. The only things I know about Alex Jones are like the mean things that he says, like the frogs are gay. And I really want to find that clip.
If you're a new listener, just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb on Iraq. They didn't consider using it. They've used it on our troops. In Vietnam, they'd spray PCP on the troops, Jacob's Ladder. You think PCP, some horse tranquilizer something? They got stuff that'll whack your brain permanently.
So I just can't, his face, bro. Like, I don't want to be like an enabler, but I also don't want to be like someone who just comes on and is just like, oh, Alex Jones. Everything about him. I'm just so not that attached to the persona of Alex Jones. To be honest, it's like performance, right? And this is where I think I kind of get that Andrew Tate vibe again of they just say things so outrageous that you think it's just marketing, really, isn't it?
They give the troops special vaccines that are really nanotech that already re-engineer their brains. Now, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what they're... What do you think?
Let's look it up. Shall we look up the gay bomb? Just, shall we humor it for a second? I'm curious. Gay bomb. The gay bomb and halitosis bomb are formal names for two non-lethal... This is what's going to happen is I'm going to turn into an Alex Jones simp, aren't I? I'm just going to become a fan because I'm going to start reading all this shit. My stupid brain is going to be attracted to it. I can tell. It's going to take it all in, hook, line, and sinker. Formal names for two non-lethal psychochemical weapons that a United States Air Force research laboratory speculated about producing. The theories involved discharging sex pheromones over enemy forces in order to make them sexually attracted to each other. Sorry. There's such an out the gate concept. In 1994, I think I have heard about this. In 1994, the Wright Laboratory in Ohio, a predecessor of today's United States Air Force Research Laboratory, produced a 3-page proposal on a variety of possible non-lethal chemical weapons, which was later obtained by the Sunshine Project through a Federal Information Act request. I mean, I get it. I suppose this is where he comes in and goes, oh, they carried on. They never stopped. And now the frogs are gay. Let's finish the clip.
And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I'm like, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not
I wish I had the fucking energy of this guy. For real.
Frogs gay. Do you understand that? Crap.
This is the thing. This is the only real exposure to Alex Jones I have, which is that it's 100%. It's just a meme. So it's hard. It's like, on one hand, it's like, you want to just enjoy it. It's like fine cuisine. But on the other hand, if it's up people's lives, which it clearly is, I don't know, conflicted.
I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
All I want to do is just watch every Alex Jones clip that's ever existed. That's kind of what I want to do, but... Oh, that's right. And he went on Joe Rogan too. I actually did listen to that podcast. That's actually the most amount of exposure I've ever had to Alex Jones was he went on Joe Rogan. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, here we go. Radio host, conspiracy theories, Sandy Hook litigation, InfoWars. And then his signature is there for some reason. I don't understand that. Can I just start signing things as Alex Jones? Is this abnormal? I would suggest so. That's really weird. Why the is Alex Jones' signature there? Do you think I should get a signed reference from Alex Jones? Am I going to get in trouble for this if I do this? This is just a joke. Can I just throw that out there? If I create a document, I think we could do this. I think this is fine. I, Alex Jones, hereby acknowledge that Oscar Jackson, aka Ossywoo, is goated. Sign Alex Jones. And now we need the picture. Is this a crime? Am I committing a crime right now? I mean, I feel like if you're going to put is this his, did he put it on the internet? I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? It's hardly a serious document. Can I just pop it there? There we go. Ooh. Nope. There we go. Wow. That's something. I never thought I would have, from Alex Jones himself, I would have an actual confirmation that I am actually goated with the source. Wow. Lucky me. Signed by Alex Jones. I feel weird. I feel kind of weird about that. I'm not going to lie. I feel very strange about that. Right. Let's just pretend that never happened. Moving on. Let's be honest. Let's be real right now. 100%. Do you really want to live in a world without Alex Jones? Me personally, I don't. I don't want what's happening to the Sandy Hook parents to happen. 100%. I don't want that. I'm glad that this is a situation that's being pulled up. But on the other hand, it would be a shame if Alex Jones just disappeared forever. And I know that might just be my like privileged position being like, oh, well, it doesn't affect me, so I just get to sit back and watch the show. But I mean, my thing is it's never going to go away anyway, right? I think to wish that it would is, I think for me personally, it's kind of a waste of time. So either enjoy it or muck into the fight. Do you know what I mean? But me personally, the meme of him, I couldn't imagine life without him now.
Without turning the friggin' frogs gay.
I think wildest moments, that's what we want to look at from the trial.
This is the big bombshell that happened the other day. They hit him with this revelation that Jones's attorney accidentally sent all of Jones's texts to the plaintiff's attorney. Let's watch.
Mr. Jones, you know how an iPhone works, right? You've had iPhone text messaging for several years now. What does it mean if the messages are in blue? Whose messages are those? Whose phone is this taking from?
I don't know whose phone's taking from. I mean, I turned the phone over and said, take the stuff off.
Do you think he's stressing at this point? Or do you think he's thinking like, this is good? Maybe it's like stressful, but I do wonder, maybe is he thinking this is so good for me because it's playing into my point, which is that there is a system that wants to take you down no matter what. If you start to speak outside the lines, or color outside the lines. And it does. It empowers that ideology and that movement. Even if there is reasonable legal framework around what it is that's actually going on. It's like a hydra, it's like you cut off one head and two more grow in its place.
So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones. Indeed.
I do enjoy this. I have seen this clip. I do enjoy the lawyer.
Oh, yes, Mr. Jones, indeed.
You give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years?
Low key, though I respect people's privacy, how interesting would it be to go through that full list of text messages from Alex Jones's phone? I'd love to see that. There's going to be some wild ass shit in there. And they didn't necessarily disclose it as far as what I understand. His lawyers, which it sounds like they've majorly up on that side of things as lawyers, let's say. It would be, there would be some pretty interesting stuff in there, I would imagine.
And when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protected in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have a text message about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone.
I have to ask you, do you think that Jones didn't know that his attorneys had done this? Do you think he was just hit with that on the stand?
Yes, I do believe. I do believe we saw a moment that does not happen in real courtrooms across America. It's not Law and Order. It's not Perry Mason. There aren't these big bombshell surprises that happen. They just don't. We have rules about that. So that honestly took all of us aback. He has, in several depositions, pre-trial, over and over again, said he has no text messages about Sandy Hook. He's lied and lied and lied about it. They caught him, and it's because his attorney, it was a law clerk apparently, or a legal assistant, sent an electronic link to the plaintiff attorney, and also that included, and she included his attorney Reynal in that email, with a link to some stuff. What they didn't know is that link included everything and everything and everything and the dog. Like medical records, text messages. There was nothing, attorney-client privileged emails, everything got sent. And he never once asserted privilege on anything he sent me. And
what
so
a mess.
Total mess.
What a mess. And look, for Alex Jones, it's problematic.
See, for me, that's really fishy. I'm not going to lie. That's actually dodge. Is there any lawyer that would do that, realistically? Especially one that Alex Jones could afford? Seems really strange to me. So here's another conspiracy theory. You ready for a conspiracy theory? Imagine Alex Jones purposefully threw this case to play into his narrative. Now, there's a conspiracy theory. Don't read into what I'm saying too much.
After court, after the judge leaves, after the jury leaves, he goes up to Scarlett Lewis and Neil Heslin, shakes their hands, and apologizes until he's quickly stopped by one of the plaintiff's attorneys, and fireworks just erupt.
And then slow and autistic.
No, I'm slow enough.
That's it. You're not talking anymore. You're not doing this. I mean, that's not even a thought. That's not the way this goes.
Why, you can't feed them fake videos anymore? That's what you're trying to shut them out. You'll never succeed. Okay. I think I'm autistic too, buddy.
No, did he just say that? I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay. My son's autistic. I think I'm autistic too, buddy.
Thanks, bro. He's a meme, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you at this point. The guy is a meme. Like, there's just no like. God damn it! You're trying to put this like meme character in this like genuinely. How do I explain this? It's like one big joke. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a giant joke. It's a meme. You're trying to put this meme through the legal system, which is just stupid in its own way, because to be honest with you, I don't think Alex Jones takes an L from this. There's no way that after everything that he said, he's going to say to the lawyer, oh yeah, I'm autistic too, unless he's actually got some form of autism. But I don't think that's where that's coming from. I'm just going to take a wild stab in the dark there and say that that's not the case. I mean, he is literally a meme, and I don't know what more to say about it than that. Like sometimes in life, in the real world, in the serious world, we're looking to like, you know, find reasons for things. There's no reason for Alex Jones to exist. He just exists. It's a random event. And so you're going to have this bleed over where it's like on one side, it's like a serious issue where you've got these parents of Sandy Hook being like, why is he telling us that my kid didn't exist and isn't dead? But then on the other hand, you have the whole internet culture of just make noise until people pay attention and then continue to make noise because it pays a lot of money. What I'm gathering from what I've seen so far is this is just marketing. This is just marketing for him. 100%. It's going to cost. Maybe it's going to cost more than he realized.
And then Alex Jones goes, fine, show him some more of your fake videos. And so, right, fake videos. So he still thinks there's a conspiracy going with Sandy Hook. And the attorney says,
or the trial.
There's a whole rhetoric going. It's just nonstop, isn't it? Everything's fake. Everything's bullshit. There can't be an ounce of truth to anything anyone does, which I know is kind of, you know, you could say it's hypocritical because you can't. It's like going one's always right, the other's always wrong.
I always ask myself, is Alex Jones playing a part? Right? Is this all for the show?
Me. Too. Can I just throw that out there? Have we said that already? Because my God, it's the Andrew Tate thing all over again. I can kind of understand the existence of Alex Jones more than I can of Andrew Tate. I think Andrew Tate says shit that's so wild. I mean, I don't know, Alex Jones says some wild shit too, but I feel like Andrew Tate says things that are they go so against the idea of what is acceptable these days, particularly towards women. I think you have to do it almost intentionally, I think. Whereas Alex Jones, I think, like, even though the conspiracy theories are crazy, they're not necessarily overly offensive until you get into the territory that we're in now with, say, the Sandy Hook situation. But is he a character? Is it a performance? Possibly. It's impossible to say one way or the other, but sometimes I think with these guys it's a yes for me.
And the best part is this is not your show.
I actually think it is his show, if I'm being entirely honest. I actually think, and this is where I'm starting, maybe I'm getting a little bit conspiratorial myself, but it. When in Rome. I feel like this whole thing is part of his show almost. Maybe that's giving him too much credit, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But if they're right, and like what that person said, if he's making $4 million or what is it, a week, or if he has the potential to make $4 million a week, you include that. You include donations from the fan base, the increased marketing, which means like an increased, say, subscriptions to his website or sales and merchandise or advertising views or however it is he monetizes his content. I mean, worth it, probably. And once again, as I've said, it continues to play into his narrative, right? Which is just everybody's going to be out to get you no matter what. And he doesn't have to be fully remorseful. And he can probably go on his show and say, I said what I had to say so I could get out of the room. Or he could come up with some other sort of technical angle on like why he said what he said. You know what I mean? Like it just never ends. I mean, maybe it'll turn some people off on the fringes that were a little bit like, oh, I wasn't 100% sold on this guy, but the fact that he's kind of gone to court for, and he's been called out on all these lies, there's enough distrust there to maybe go, oh, Alex Jones, sort of write him off completely. But I would say, if anything, it's going to reaffirm his core fan base, and it will potentially attract more people into the system, or sorry, into his fan base that don't have trust in the legal system. It's possible, maybe even probable. I don't know. Two male frogs into females. Atrazine, one of the world's most widely used pesticides, wreaks havoc with the sex lives of adult male frogs, emasculating 3/4 of them and turning 1 in 10 into females, according to a new study by University of California, Berkeley biologists. So he's kind of right, but it's also not right at all. He was on a thread, but it was just the wrong side of things. But then again, I've only just seen like the clip.
Alex Jones, he's made some mistakes and some big ones, but he's also actually exposed some real shit. You know, he was talking about Epstein a long time ago.
I know.
A long time ago. He was saying there's a island and they take all these rich politicians and some celebrities and they bang these kids. And I was like, come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is pretty wild.
He was telling me this a long time ago. So he's also the one who told me about Bohemian Grove. Well, I actually watched it. I think this tape was actually made before I met him. So he went and snuck in to this place where like former presidents go. There's a photograph of it's Ronald Reagan with Herbert Walker Bush and a couple other people all standing around. And it's like these are the people that used to hang out at this place, and they would put on robes and they would worship an owl god, and they would burn an effigy. And they're playing, and Alex snuck in and made video footage of this shit. And then no one's denying that it's real. This really did happen.
Was this Bohemian Grove thing? Is this the one? Part 7?
Once again, midsummer sets us free.
So they're like tripping on LSD and shit at this point, or is this just like how they would like soberly behave? Because there's a big difference there. Because if I was setting fire to a giant owl and I was tripping, I'd probably be pretty into it.
Upon further research of the ritual you just witnessed, it becomes clear it is a mixture of the Babylonian Canaanite cult of Moloch fused with ancient druidic rites, where you have the female side of Satan, which they first call out to in the she, and then towards the horn god with the he, mixed with Masonic rites from Scotland. It's very likely that many of the 1,500 to 2,000 member crowd had really no idea what they were actually watching because it was thinly veiled.
I swear to God, if I get radicalized by anyone, I'm going to flip out.